Today we're going to go through transaction ZPOS, which is our pick status report. It's used for the IC, leads, and supervisors. Kind of a dashboard that gives you an overview of your orders in your department and the statuses, whether they're printed, picked, through bag make, or delivered. Okay, so we'll get started. Again, ZPOS is a transaction. You hit enter. Okay, you'll be given your traditional selection screen here. Either or of the selection schedule start date or order date are mandatory. We have to really limit the data that we show here. We show a lot of information, and to make this usable and to give you a decent response time, the program requires that scheduled start date, you can put a range, or numbers populated. Okay? Down here at the bottom, it allows you to customize the output a little bit. If you want to exclude orders that are partially confirmed, you can go ahead and do that here. If you only want to see things that are bag make complete, you can do that as well. And if you only want to see orders that are delivered to the floor, you can. The last one here, exclude confirmed orders, that will always be selected by default. And that says if an order is fully confirmed, go ahead and not show it in your output. If you do have an instance where an order has been delivered, it's been confirmed, and there's a question about who picked it or a question about how much was delivered to that department for that order, and you wanted to see it, you could simply put in your order number, deselect that button, and if it was confirmed, it would show it. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to put in a date range here, 10/1 through 10/6. Okay, so everything that production orders that are scheduled for that range, and then obviously it's for plant 46. Okay, so I'm going to run it. So it's going through, looking at all the production orders, assessing all the different statuses, and you get your dashboard here. Okay, the dashboard will show you one order per line. It supplies, if you have a 2 work center order here, first work center, second work center. Quantity, obviously, start date. Missing parts flag, that's the missing parts status on the production order. The print status, yes or no. Open transfer requirements, we'll go through that in a second. Transfer order status, these are the pick orders. The pick complete means that all the pick orders for that order are complete. Partially picked, that means at least some of them are picked, but not all of them. None mean there hasn't been a transfer order created, and I'll see if I have any here. Open means none of the transfer orders have been picked. Okay, now based on your plant, you could have many transfer orders or pick orders per order. Okay, this is a status that's rolled up based on the one-to-many relationship. However, if you wanted to see all of the transfer pick orders for a specific production order, you can do that. You select the line. I'm going to select this one here, and then I'm going to hit show transfer order. Okay, so this shows us we have 2 transfer orders created for this particular material, or this particular production order. We have, looks like a finished product order, so this is a rework order, and we have a bag component here that's added. We also show the status. This transfer order was picked, and it was picked complete. This transfer order is not, so it hasn't been picked yet. And that's where you're partially picked. If you show your transfer order here, you'll see that all of these are complete. Component number, source bin location, picked and picked complete. Okay? The other things we put on here is the date and time of the confirmation order, transfer order number. You may or may not have the need to look at a transfer order, but that's a hyperlink. If you select that, it'll take you into the transfer order. Creation date, and then unloading point, which is usually the second work center. So this one's going to be become. Okay? If we had any discrepancy in what was picked, our source to target quantity would be different than our actual quantity. Okay? And then what we do is we sum it by total components, and then we also subtotal it by material number. Okay? By green arrow back, we'll take you back to my report. So to continue on with the columns, partially confirmed, yes or no. If I would have selected that, no partially confirmed orders in my first screen here, any of these that were selected yes wouldn't show up. Bag make complete. Has the bag make been completed? The folks that work in bag make have this tasked where when they're done, they should scan their production order and flag a bag made complete. This is where that status shows up. Same with delivered to the floor. If I deliver it to the floor and I scan it, it'll say yes. Now also in conjunction with that is delivered to. We scan who or where it was delivered to. The date and time automatically gets created based on the time that transaction's posted, and then the delivered by, who did it. Okay? So delivered to the floor is a little bit more involved than bag made complete. This other one we have here is called pick text. If we decided we need to put some text for a pick order, something short, or do you want to remind yourself when you're looking at these later, this is where you left off, you can go ahead and put your pick text in there. What you simply do is just select the no. It's a hyperlink. Hyperlinks always tell you to go to a different field. You can add text here. Now, if I was to add text here and refresh this, the pick text would move to yes. I don't have any here, I don't think. But if you were to add your text, when you came back to this field and refreshed your data, it would be set to yes, and that's your indicator that there are some text applied to this order. And then last but not least, we have our production order text. Okay, if there's any production order text on the production order, it'll show up here. Okay, this is an ALV grid. We can rearrange these columns any way you see fit. We can hide columns. I believe that probably all of them are probably added. Oh no, we don't. We got some other ones here. Production order, status, plant, material description, and actual release date. All information you can add to the output if you see fit. Okay? The last item to go through on this here is the transfer orders. The transfer order, yes or no, is whether we converted the production order when we released it, was it able to generate a pick for every component? If we have open transfer orders, that means, transfer requirements, that means not everything was converted. Okay? They always show up as red and they come to the top. And that way, no matter how many orders you look at here, if you have any issues, they'll bubble to the top. Okay? So if I look at these both have hyperlinks. If I select them, it will give you the detail of the hyperlink. Okay? So this tells me that this line was processed, this line was processed, and this line was not. Okay? But now we have available stock. Normally this would turn red when one of two things happened. The order's released and there's not enough components in a picking bin to generate the pick, or after the release, additional components or the production order was changed. Okay? And for this one, it shows that this component has an open quantity of 7.968. Chances are this order may have got upped to the point where this component doesn't have a round value, which probably technically shouldn't happen. What it shows is we need a complete open quantity of 8. And the available stock is 7,390. Now, if there was a picking issue, the real picking issue would be if this available stock was less than 8. So chances are the stock discrepancies gotten corrected, and now we have enough stock. Now, if we wanted to convert this transfer requirement into a pick order, we would select this button, and we would select the line. There could be more than one, obviously, and we would hit transfer order in the background. That would create a pick. We would get a message at the bottom. I don't want to do it here because this is our production system, but we would get a message down here that says transfer order created. You want to absolutely use transfer order in the background, not transfer order in the foreground. Okay? And that'll generate it automatically. And if we were to do that and come back here and hit this refresh button, that would switch from a red to a no. And that means no transfer requirements are open and everything's complete. Okay? Let's look at this other one. You would see here that I have an open quantity of 1, open quantity of 1, open quantity of 1. But on this particular item, I have 0 available. If a transfer requirement is generated for 3 components for an order, and it can't convert the entire transfer requirement none of it gets converted. And that's simply because we want to generate a pick for all the components at the same time, so we're managing orders and not components. Okay? So in this instance, they have a shortfall of 1 here. This line would need to be cleared, figure out if we have the stock or not, and then when we convert the transfer requirement, because it's one number, we would hit TO in the foreground and the transfer order for all of them would be created. Okay, so I'm going to green arrow back, and that is the overview. This is a pick status report. You can also export this to Excel. You can look at your pick orders. You can do a lot of things here. You can filter using this function. Sum, subtotal, sort. If you want to look at a complete line, you can go ahead and do it this way, or you can just scroll here back and forth. Okay? If you have any questions, contact support at support@pcf.com. Thanks.